today's video, oh, there's the dog. There's the dog and the butt. And he's leaving. I don't have a lot to say for today's topic. Actually, the topic really is just like the work that's going to be going on and the works in progress. Sorry, my calendar is going off. There's this wild panic at the beginning of December for like 2-3 weeks where everyone's trying to finish everything by the end of the year, and then it's completely dead. No one does anything. Oh my god, there's so many notifications going on. I'm so sorry. Anyways, there's like nothing going on at the end of December. Absolutely nothing. And maybe for the first week of January, can't think of the word. But then all of a sudden in January, it's like also again 0 to 1,000. So I feel like everyone's coming back and is like, they were missing for the first 2 weeks of January. Now we're back and we're starting to work and then getting a bunch of requests and questions and updates. So things have just been busy. Very, very busy. Works in progress. Okay, so for works in progress, at the previous video, I think it was the previous video, I had thrown a bunch of stuff, like a lot. And unfortunately, typical me, I had something come up and I was either lazy or busy or whatever it was, but I couldn't finish, I couldn't trim like in my normal time period. I actually waited way too long. I waited like a week. So now everything was just a little bit too dry, little bit too dry. So here I am. I think I only recorded maybe half of my time trimming, but I had a tough time trimming these pieces. It's like I feel like something about 2026 just like isn't hitting right because I just couldn't figure out how to trim these things the proper way at the proper timing. I'll get better at that, don't worry. I don't think I'll ever be a tutorial channel, and I that's not really in the cards for me, but I basically level out the foot as much as I can, the bottom of the piece, and then I'm marking my foot ring. Because they were so dry, I couldn't really do like a really nice foot ring like in the way that I usually do or really want to do for some of these plant pots, but in any case they were probably too small for the design that I usually do, so that's fine. So I just did a very simple well, very, very basic. I take a lot of measurements and I usually take photos of these measurements because that way I can repeat the process for later on. I have a lot of photos, lots and lots of photos. And then somewhere through the video, I just decided that I needed to trim the sides more to make it evener, and then it fell off of the wheel head, which is fine. I just attach it with slip, so it's not a big deal. But I was getting frustrated. Not a great day in the studio. Early on, maybe like 2 years ago, I had a friend 3D print like a little stamp for me. It's of my logo. Oh my god, what is going on? The air is turning on now. Okay, it's not my day. Anyway, so I have a friend who has a 3D printer that I asked to print these stamps for me. I had a bunch of different kind of logo ideas and I printed them, but I ended up picking the one that is my current logo. Some of the plant pots were at a wet enough stage that I felt comfortable putting holes in the bottom of them. So those pots will be like the more kind of traditional, you can plant in the pot kind of pot. The other ones that I didn't put holes in the bottom are more decorative plant pots, which I'm actually fine with. So I personally don't actually plant my plants in my pots because I have a lot of plants. I'm looking at them right now. I have a lot of plants and I switch the pots often, especially when they size up or something like that. They're decorative for me. So like any pots that I make with holes in the bottom, I end up using as decorative pots and I just put the nursery pot in that pot. I'm saying pot a lot and there's the bottom of it. So now these are larger ones. This one was particularly dry. You can see by all like the little fine granules of clay that I'm trying to trim off. I do throw rather thick, and I also keep it thick when I'm trimming, so that way when I'm doing carving, it'll have some structural integrity, you know? Okay, onto a newer concept. So with the extra small plant pots that I had trimmed, I wanted to do a similar fluted design, but I wanted to add something different as the motif. Previously I had done like dragons, I had done fruits, I have done a lot of fruits actually, I was in a fruit phase, which I still am, but fruits. But this time I wanted to try like these mossy kind of mounds. I basically started by mapping out where I want the mounds to be, and then I did a lot of my typical fluted carving. What was tricky about this is because the piece itself, like the cylinder really needs to be quite wet in order to accept the mossy mounds that I'm going to apply later in this video, which you'll see. Which meant that I had to carve my flute texture rather wet, which I don't usually do. I actually prefer to carve it when it's like almost bone dry, because the texture of the carving is a little bit easier to accept, and there's like not a little granules that stick to the fluted texture while I'm carving. Because the whole piece was really wet, I was like, okay, it's fine if I just carve the fluting now, because I know that once I apply these mossy mounds, that sounds like these moss mounds. I know that once I apply these moss mounds, that I'm gonna have to clean up the edges. I'm gonna have to clean up the fluting anyways. So it is kind of double the work, but I think in the end it will turn out really well. And I really did not want these moss mounds to crack. So yeah. Basically, I did a lot of scoring, as you can see, did a lot of slip application. I tried very hard to seal the edges as well as I could. A lot of spraying down, and a lot of just like making sure everything was as consistently wet as possible. Once everything was applied and I felt like the seams were as clean as they could be or as attached as they could be, I just went through with like an old brush and I did a bunch of stippling on like with slip and to try and create that kind of moss texture. I think they look great, personally. Onto my high-low, what do you know? If you are new to my content, it is a type of reflection technique. A high is like a positive experience or something successful that I've done recently. A low is a challenge or a difficulty that I've experienced. And then a what do you know is like something about me or something that I learned or remembered or just like a fun fact. Basically, it's kind of a catch-all. So my high this week is I have a list of like small things that have just been like making me really happy. I got a bunch of Copic markers. So these Copic markers, you see, I guess a friend of a friend had moved out and left. She's like an interior designer and she had left a bunch of these. And so I claimed them from her trash pile. That was really great. I haven't tested all of them, but I'm pretty sure they all work. And they're pretty much all grays. All the colors you see here are mine, and I mixed in a few of mine, but they're pretty much all grays, which I love. Second on my list is this vertical mouse. It's the Logitech It's called the Logitech Lift Vertical. Is it the MX? No, it's just the regular one. It's the cheap one. Logitech also makes another one called the MX Vertical, which is the more expensive, fancier one with more buttons, I guess. So I do a lot of stuff with my hands, including pottery, knitting, etc. A traditional mouse where your palm is basically parallel to the table is just terrible for your wrists. So I decided to get a vertical mouse so that your hand is kind of in the this is like the surface, right? Your hand is in like natural cupping position for your wrist. I don't know how to explain it. So it works like this, right? Here it is. It's so fun. There's like buttons here and then obviously your regular buttons on the other side. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. And my last one on my high list is my earmuffs. I love my earmuffs. Let me go get them. I've had these for a really long time. I think my mom gave them to me. Oh, they're from Brooks Brothers. Okay. Not my favorite type of headband. Like I don't really care for the plaid, but in this weather in New York City, when it's been really cold and windy recently, this is everything. Love them. My low, procrastination has been my game. I finally painted these vases. See like a picture of them here. I'll probably put the in process painting of them in the next video. But I finally eventually painted them. They've been sitting in my apartment for 2 weeks. Sometimes I take stuff home from the studio to paint at home if they're like small enough. It only took me like one night to do it, but you know, things just, there's no time. And my what do you know? I'm gonna introduce Kuma. Kuma, come here. Kuma. Come. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. He hates this. Okay, this is Kuma. He is, look at the camera, Kuma. Can you see? Can you see? He has a bunch of breeds. I have to look it up, but he's mostly Chow Chow, a pit bull, and cattle dog. Some fun facts about him is he hates huskies. Oh, I guess I could just point the camera down. He hates huskies. There you go. Oh no, oh no. Oh, he's leaving. He hates huskies. Okay, goodbye. He hates huskies and wolfy dogs. Okay, I know. And then he loves fire trucks and is enamored with howling at fire trucks. And has recently been into the street sweeper trucks. Just like watches them. You know, he's like crazy about the sound, I think. Anything to say? No? Okay. I'm so sorry that I made you do that. I'm so sorry. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. To anyone new to the channel, thank you for being here. And keep making stuff. Okay, bye.